Hi, it's Lindsay with Transparent Grace. Thank you for joining me today. Today, I want to talk about compromise, and we're just going to hit right to the guts of it. I had a decision to make when I started this business. I could talk to a Christian audience, or I could talk to a broad audience, which included everyone women, children, men. Then I had to narrow it down some more. Well, I know that I talk to women and young adults and youth. But then I had to decide, do I talk strictly to a Christian audience or do I talk to anyone? And I wrestled with that, to be honest with you. Some of it was out of, understanding, would I have an audience just with a Christian focus? Or do I need to open this up? Is this a missionary type of business? Or is this just, trying to get to the heart and soul of the people who are walking with God right now? And some of the compromise came in to say, well, I could get more money if it's broad, or might get less money if it's not broad. And that's a real thing. Like we want to know, all right, am I going to lose out if I follow God, or am I not? And that had to be decided by me. And I decided I'm going to go with God. He has plenty of money. He has plenty of money. He has everything that I need. So there was no need to compromise. But then I started to think about my life and in areas where I compromised myself. Um, I compromised myself as long as I can remember. I don't do it anymore because I had to go through a process of understanding how to set boundaries and how to know who I was enough not to compromise. So I want to talk to you about a couple of things. The main and most important thing that I want you to remember is don't compromise for anyone, for no one. One of the reasons you don't want to compromise that is that it leaves you lacking. When you lack anything, you're not going to give wholeheartedly. If you're looking for a relationship and you begin to compromise who you are, it's going to be a mess because you're not able to be who you really are because you're steadily trying to fit into that mold and fit into their expectations. And eventually, it's going to put a chokehold on you. And you are going to give out and give up on that thing. The second thing, it causes you resentment. Because when you can't be you, but you allow other people to be them, man, you're in a world of bondage. And you get upset because you have created a space for them to be free to be them, to cry, to laugh, to just express who they are. But you can't fully do it. It's time out for that. We don't want to do that. You do not want to live a life of lack nor regret or resentment because that relationship will fail too, whether it's with a spouse or a boyfriend or a friend or even a mom or dad. It's not going to work. It's always going to have a barrier between you. Another reason that you don't want to live in compromise is honestly, it says a lot about you. If you'll compromise in the little things, you'll compromise in the big things. It's just a matter of time. And it also says how valuable you deem yourself. If you will compromise who you are, then you'll compromise anything because you have a light, have a voice, have a charge in this world that only you can bring. So if you compromise that, that means that you don't deem it important. But you are important and you are worth standing your ground on whatever that thing is. When it's upright and righteous, you don't have to, I don't mean that in a holy way. I just mean it's right and it's righteous. You don't have to compromise who you are to try to get that man, get that woman, get that person, that job, whatever it is. Because see, you are good enough. And that's what I had to come to. I'm good enough. I am good enough to stand my ground and not be drawn between what somebody else wants and what I know is right in my heart. So, the solution, and this was my process. This is the secret. You have to love from the inside out. If you don't start with love from the inside out, it's not going to work. It is not going to work because you don't even know how to love someone else if you can't love yourself. If you notice on a lot of my things on Facebook, on Twitter, my hashtag is love from the inside out because that's my message all the time, every day. Love from the inside out. And that means when you start to love from the inside out, you can't even love yourself until you love God. And that's a process. That is a process. That's a process that I'm trying to get the word out in the world. You have to know what this love is before you can even love you. And surely before you can love somebody else. So what I want you to understand, what I want you to do this week, take a good look in the mirror. Take a good look in your heart. Figure out where you're compromising. Figure out why you're compromising yourself. Not only that, once you've identified it, take a stand. Take a stand that you are worth not having to compromise who you are and what you believe. Can you do that for me this week? I'm standing with you. I'm a no compromise type of girl. I really am. I didn't used to be that way, but I'm that way now. And I'm so much happier for it. And I want you to experience this happiness as well. So let's take a stand. No compromise this week. If you find any place in your life that you have compromised, email it to me. Let me know. Text it to me. Tweet it. Send it out on Facebook. Inbox me. Whatever. Because I'll stand with you in that. Nobody really stood with me because I never really let on that I was compromising. But boy, once I figured it out, the whole world opened up to me. And I want that same thing for you. I'll talk to you later. Have a great weekend.